Okay, we're joined now by the Baylor Bears head coach Steve Rodriguez and student athletes Cole Herring and Cody Bradford. We'll start with an opening statement from the coach.
I thought it was a pretty impressive game to open up this Big 12 tournament. You have Cody Bradford and Irvin going out there for Oklahoma, two pretty amazing pitchers, very talented young men, and I was just really happy with how our guys woke up this morning. We're able to put the pressure on them early and just kind of get the things rolling with 2 runs in the first. Kind of breaks the ice a little bit, but Oklahoma's a very talented team. As you can see, they were able to kind of just hold it to that point for a long time, and both teams had opportunities to score throughout the game and just couldn't get that hit, but we were fortunate enough to get a couple at the end to kind of take the pressure off a little bit. So I thought it was a pretty good game by both teams.
Okay, questions?
Cody, it looked like you kind of hit a groove in the middle, but they were getting some runners on base, and you had that stretch there where you were striking everybody. Did you feel like you got better as the game went on?
I did. It took me a little bit to just get comfortable, and it's a big stadium. There's a lot of people, and it was a big moment. So adrenaline was going again, so I just had to calm down a little bit. And I guess it was the 4th inning when there was runners on second, third, and got to full count, and then came out with a big punch out. So that's when I just was able to take a deep breath and just calm down some.
Was it also one of those days where all the pitches were working for you today?
Struggled with change-up a little bit, but me and Strauss talked about it and started going to more curveballs. And me and the pitching coach did a great job and just talked me through it.
His name is John Strauss.
John Strauss.
Cole, how much did playing in the JUCO World Series a year ago prepare you for the atmosphere here today?
The JUCO World Series was incredible. There's 10,000 fans pretty much at every game, and so coming to a stadium like this, having a bunch of fans in the stadium, it just kind of prepares you for it. But this year's just been a big learning experience. Been learning stuff throughout the whole year, so just kind of learning as we go.
Cole, you got those last 2 runs different ways. How big was that? Because it just felt like there was pressure on every pitch he threw, and then you guys put up a couple runs.
It was good. There wasn't a whole lot of pressure on us. We had Troy coming in, and with him coming from the bullpen, we're pretty confident. But he was pretty upset that he didn't get to come in. So
he grinded you?
A little bit, yes.
We'll get him one.
Steve, you mentioned the early start and how you guys were woken up. How much did you emphasize maybe getting those early runs, knowing that you had Cody on the mound working for you today?
I don't really emphasize getting runs early. I think we emphasize getting runs all the time, every inning. But I think the biggest thing was you're waking up at 5 a.m. You're waking up at 5 a.m., you got breakfast at 5:45, and just the attitude they had at breakfast told me, I had a great feeling. I go, you know what, we're going to be okay, because they weren't dragging their feet, they were laughing, we had the blue lights out. It was awesome just watching them kind of get ready for the game and just kind of wake up. And then they came out here really energized, ready to go, and had a very good batting practice. And it's important. Just because when you're trying to wake up and you're putting pressure on them, and 9 a.m., man, next you know you're facing 93, 94 miles an hour, and you wake up in a hurry. I thought they just did a phenomenal job from when they woke up. Everybody came down. Just as a coach, I can't force them to go to sleep. I can tell them when to be in their room, but I can't force them to go to sleep. And I know they were playing Fortnite last night, so that's okay. But I think the part for me was I was just most happy with how they woke up this morning and they were ready to go.
Was the early morning attitude different a year ago?
Yes. It's just different. It is. It's just absolutely different. This team has just did a great job of, they woke up. We have our early curfew, and I just want them to get in bed and relax and wake up in a good mood. And I think they did that. Last year, I'm trying to think of which game it was, but man, it was tough. It was a tough game, and I thought it was West Virginia first, and next thing you know, they had 7 runs up before I could blink. And so then you're trying to scramble back. The wind was blowing in. Kearns was pitching. They just did a really good job. And so, but this team, having Cody out there as pitcher of the year, you always kind of curious as to how they're going to react in those moments. Just because, as you can tell, he's an unbelievably humble young man, and his talent is going to take him much further than he actually realizes. But you just don't know how that's going to react. And he came out there with he didn't even realize he was a pitcher of the year. He just went out and pitched the way he did all year.
Steve, you talked about putting pressure on them early. You get some long at bats, get Urban's pitch count up. I think it was 59 after 2. How important was that, just to sort of make him work early in this game? And obviously that changes what happens in the back end.
Oh, it absolutely does. And I think one thing people don't realize is, the 9 a.m. body clock, it's different. It's just different. You're so used to playing at 6:30, especially for Friday night guys. You're used to a certain routine, and that routine changes a little bit. So being able to get out there, get pitch counts up, and when we emphasize just putting the ball in play with 2 strikes, forcing things to happen, and just not striking out, make sure that defense plays defense. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that all year. And just being able to put the pressure on them early, kind of wake everybody up. All of a sudden they woke up and we woke up, and pretty soon we realized, we're in a dogfight and the baseball game's going on.
Cody, kind of how did you manage your routine and the body clock? And did you feel some of that energy that Steve talked about this morning?
Absolutely. Our trainer brought some blue lights this trip, and it's like a little thing you just set down. It's almost like a lamp, and it's a blue, and we set it down for breakfast. And it might sound dumb or kind of like weird, but it actually helps, and it's kind of annoying, so it kind of wakes you up. And like you said, guys like cracking jokes this morning, and we're laughing, just having a good time at breakfast, and it's 6 a.m. in the morning. We all woke up at probably 5:30, 5:45. So, just being able to come out and talk to one another and just feeding off the energy from others is huge.
Cody, you didn't face them last time. Were you a little juiced up just to face a team that you hadn't seen?
Juiced up, maybe not so much. It's any other game, so we're trying to go out there and win. And, I had an injury earlier in the year against them, but, God took that as a blessing, and we came out today, and they hadn't seen me, so it was all fresh stuff.
That's a good answer.
Steve,
yes.
Does the 4-0 take away from leaving 13 runners on base?
I don't care about leaving 13 runners on base. 4-0, I will take 1-0, I will take 2-1, I will take whatever it is. But here's the thing: is we had 13 guys on base. That's the thing. It's like I'm happy that our guys are finding a way to get on base. They did a great job manipulating 6 pitchers to where they were able to kind of keep us off balance a little bit. At some point you give them credit too. It's a pretty good pitching staff, and being able to go out there and do that from Urban to Prada, it's pretty good. And I thought our guys did a good job. Seriously, 1 base hit, and that game is broken open, and it completely changes it. But they're trying to win too. And I just know that they're going to come out and they're going to continue to compete. And I'm just happy our guys were able to keep fighting through it.
Had Cody not given up a base runner in the 8th, would it have been possible for him to go all the way, or was the plan to bring him?
No. His pitch count was already a little bit elevated. He's on a day's shorter rest, coming from Thursday now to Wednesday, and we are just, the way we believe is just the safety of the young man is more important than some other things. And he did a great job. I want to make sure he continued to have a good job in regards to his outing, and there was really not a thought of letting him continue. We just wanted him to get through the left-handed hitter and then be able to take him out and bring in our bullpen.
Did Cole's home run take Troy out?
Yes. Yeah, Cole was coming in if it was Troy was coming in if it was 3-0. As soon as Cole hits the home run, Drew was already hot and ready to go, so we just leave him in for the 9th. And if there was any trouble, Troy would come in at that point.
Cole, what kind of pitch did you get to knock out? Hit the foul ball.
Fastball inside.
Is that what you were looking for?
Not really. Wasn't really sitting any pitches, but I like it inside, so I just turned on it.